mean, he got criticized really bad within the sport. They were trying to kick him out of the sport, ban him. They were trying to pass laws to ban what he was doing. But he went to, I think it was 69 Olympics or 68 Olympics, and he won it in Mexico with a jump of probably 7'4". And from that point forward, he revolutionized the way people high jump. And that's what I'm challenging you to do. There's some things you're probably going to have to do in your style of teaching and how you were trained. There was a textbook that trained you for Reed Park. So I challenge you to open your mind and be creative, to invent, to come up with a style, some way of doing things is probably not conventional, but let that become the new innovation within education. I mean, it's in you guys. I mean, you're getting it first. You're getting hit first with the parents, the young parents, with the babies, with, low parenting skills, all the other stuff that you get with your parents. So I'm challenging you as we move forward. Just think on innovative skills. Begin to create. All right, Kevin.
Hello. Where's that knock me for a moment? Let's shake the willies off. I know you think we're gonna shake the willies off. Oh, look at you! So everyone's name, when I go to you, I want you to state your name and one of your teaching philosophies. I'm gonna give you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm Emily Hill.
Everyone say hello.
Hello, one of my philosophies is that all children are capable of learning. You just have to lead them where
We can say it's your own truth. We don't have to create anything.
It's not true.
Okay. Now we pass the truth to you.
I'm Rochelle King. Hey, Rochelle. And I was going to say that I believe that all children can learn. Give them the right supports.
Okay. So you believe that all the children are capable of learning. You do so. You're more concerned about support. I heard the word support come out. In your name, in the baby's name.
I'm Kim Creed.
Okay.
Baby's name is Emma. And I believe that I'm like a detective. Like, I want to know how children learn. Like, I feel every child learns in a different way, style, manner. And it's my goal to figure that out.
Okay.
And then tap into the potential.
Okay. Wow. That was heavy. Good stuff. And next, let's give her a hand.
And I'm Shonda Orr.
And the bike winner.
That's right. So on TV and now bike. So
Wow, you're doing it.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
And I have to use an African old African.
Okay.
And that it takes a village
Okay.
to raise a child.
All right. That's right.
And that's what I
So we have the support, we have the belief, we have support, we have the detective, we have the African village,
right?
and we have,
Latoya P.
all right, McGee's.
Good morning, Latoya.
Thank you. Anyway, I'll piggyback on what all four of them said. I believe that it is up to us to figure out how our students learn and just what helps the world and what is not going to help them, just figuring out how they learn and what I can do to help them.
Okay, wow. You want to figure out again. You have the compassionate side of trying to figure out what goes on the inside to learn. And last, please.
My name is Jennifer.
Good morning, Jennifer.
She's trying to.
I believe that cohesively with parents and teachers, that it's our job to prepare our children to be lifelong learners, not just in school, but after school.
Okay, so this is the responsibility of both.
Both.
And you believe in the relationship of community. So, wow, I'm already finished. As you see, my name is Kevin. And what happens with me, I'm the guy that comes and allows one's dreams about their profession to come to fruition. Sometimes in our structures, what we signed up for is not what we're really doing. I didn't sign up for this. I'm not a social worker. I'm a teacher. They didn't teach me to deal with Timothy and his behavior. How can I deal with 21 behaviors and I have a curriculum and you're grading me on performance? So that puts me in a place of pressure. And when I'm in pressure, I collapse and begin to be homogenized. What I mean by homogenized? Okay, you want me to do this by when? It's not going to happen. But you're still holding me to a standard that's not indicative of what my desire is. I want them to learn. I want to understand how they learn. I understand these parents need to come on and work with me here. So when I feel that intrinsically, it messes with my one thing, internal integrity. Everything you do must come from the place of internal integrity. What is your truth? You notice what I said? If I disconnect from my truth, I'm on autopilot as a teacher. And what I'm doing now, the vision of what I had, and first of all, let me qualify that. Teaching is the greatest office that I believe God created. The office of a teacher is a gift to humanity. And y'all take a bad hit. You know? Y'all have a gift and a calling to unlock future minds and unlock potential and cause things that don't look great to come alive. You are dream painters. And sometimes with a broken brush. I'm trying to paint you a pretty flower, but I don't have enough resources to paint the picture. So what I want to do, together we will need to paint a picture to re-energize you and get you back into your teaching center. Would that be okay? See, the center of education comes from relationship. Who knows how to sew? Where'd you learn it from? Who learned about cars? Anybody knows about just pumping gas? Let's say that. Can you change it? Who told you?
My granddad.
Have you ever forgotten?
No,
Why?
because I watched him show.
Demonstration that came through relationship. I had one teacher who would seem like she was the meanest. She had a mole with a piece of hair on it. But she taught me how to read. You're going to read this, Kevin Graham. I said, oh, I don't like you. But now, what I'm doing now, I want to find her because I knew she cared. She broke beyond all my antics and saw my potential. And she stayed on it. And I thought she was just demonized. Why are you on me so much? She saw something intangible that I did not know in my environment that was needed. So you teachers have done a tremendous job on the front line of battle. You've taken hurts. Parents have abused you. Systems have abused us. And I'm not making us a victim. We're not going to leave out here weeping. But I want to legitimize your struggle all year. You have been on the front line of America to try to turn the current of an emerging generation. And if we look at it, it's pretty discouraging. But I don't want you to cast away the dream of education. Is that honest? Is that fair enough? Huh?
Yeah.
We're talking about the law of teaching, correct? I used the acronym, y'all know that. Y'all tired of hearing that law of teaching. T-E-A-C-H-E-R. But it's the law of teaching, the law of education, the law of activity, the law of communication, and the law of the heart, and the law of encouragement, and the law of readiness. What we've ripped out of Americanized teaching is the law of the what? Heart. There's no way, when I was teaching, I was at, what is the school now? They sent us so many children that had so many different, see, I erased it out of my mind. It was old, no. What's the school you used to coach at long ago?
Victor?
No, back beyond that.
Oh, was it Kennedy?
What is it?
Olympic?
See, I forgot it. I've been in so many different positions now. But what they gave us a situation where no one believed in any of the kids. And they said, here you are, just take them. So what I was taught about education didn't match the emerging need right then. So we had to perform without having creativity. So when we didn't have creativity, I felt shackled. And when I feel shackled, as a human, I begin to rebel. So, oh well, I'm going to throw away my teaching and I'm going to just manage a classroom. I know we have strategies for managing classrooms, but if it's not in my heart to do, it's no fun. So in this law, we talk about emerging problems. You're going to hear me keep saying emergence, because what's happening in the United States of America, educational system, a lot of people, they're cursing darkness. We're speaking about what's wrong. But guess what? If we keep living, education is not going anywhere. So there must be some creative ways to center ourselves back to the purpose and the origin of why I was born to teach. Do you feel that teaching was bigger than just a job for anyone in here? Huh? What sparked you first concerning teaching? What was the dream when you were a little girl? Or what inspired you to teach?
I had this little boy that was in my brother's first grade classroom, and he was told that he would never be able to write, or he's had a lot of special needs.
Okay.
And because of that, everyone had given up on him. So I started tutoring him after school, and just seeing the progress that he made, I knew that that's what I was supposed to do for the rest of my life. And I was a high school student.
So the thing is, this is what I do with my company. What they say, what do you do? I say, I'm an educator with transformative learning. See, the day is coming now that we have to be creative and bring transformation in our education. I'm an educational facilitator. What is that big deal? I connect passion and reality back to the office of the teacher. I call it an office because it's a function. It's higher than the president. Because now you have great influence for the next generation and beyond. Right where you guys are, they come in classrooms now to see who can't read, see who can't write, and see who can't communicate, so they can see how big the prisons will be. Wow. They say, I'm coming in your class. Who can't read? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what we're going to have to do is establish this many prison cells, because they know education is powerful. You are the gatekeepers to people's greater future. But guess what? People have lost the value of an educator. So what we have to do is begin to raise up the standard for the value of what you guys do. You see? And I think it's a better way than just picketing, because everybody needs a job. But this is not your job. This is a calling for you guys. Someone say paradigm.
Paradigm.
Could you type that up for me? Google it or something. Paradigm.
Or go ahead.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's right.
Because we're going to deal with emerging paradigms that will revolutionize lives. See what she was? She was an agent of change. Stand up, agent of change. And see, I can go around, but I wanted the organic truth coming out of you ladies, in me. You said, I have passion because someone said he could not do. So I put myself as an agent of change in one person's life. Now, if you touch one person's life this year, just one, you've done your job. I want you to take off the false burden.
Thank you.
You can't save the whole system, but you can change the system person person, and by continuing your education. I'm not talking about academia. I'm talking about personal growth. Do you know the paradigm? You can be seated, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
The paradigm is this. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Which one you want? That one?
Yes. Don't get the smallest one. Stretch it out.
This is Webster's definition of paradigm. An outstanding, clear, or typical example.
Wow. Stop. You are an outstanding, clear. What? You ladies and gentlemen have been an example to dysfunctional systems of some sort of stability. Some people never know how to engage with women because they don't have that at home. Hello? Some people come here never hearing a positive word. You're that. Some come never having advocacy at all. You're that for them. You're a clear example of their future. Doesn't that change the whole mindset? Now, I'm the clear example of their future. So if I knew that, how would my changing or my passion change? No matter what anyone else does or said, you took it upon yourself as a burden to make sure that young man would change. And you have that intrinsically on the inside of you, even when you don't feel like it. Someone's depending on you to show up. Now, you may have one child. I had one child that got under everything. Everything within me. I couldn't even fake the smile. I was like, rabble. I was fretful and stuff. Why? But one day this young man came and said, Mr. Graham, he said, I need a ride home. I said, no, sir, free buddy. Not the way you've hurt my feelings. I didn't tell him you hurt my feelings. But you get feelings hurt in the battlefield of American education. And I was so bruised by the harsh things he said. It was horrible. But I got beyond that and I pressed through, gave him a ride home and said, I'm not crazy. I just come here to be a kid. He went home, his mother was addicted to drugs. He raised 5 kids himself while she walked the street in prostitution. And he said, I come here to be a kid. That's why I'm defiant. Because I don't have a proper image of females. And every female teacher he saw, that image of his mother was there. I didn't know that. Because I just signed you up. You're getting out of here. See ya. See? But that changed my heart toward that young man. Now he's doing better. And I saw him in the mall the other day. I still said, oh, God. He said, Mr. Graham, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for first telling me the truth. First not giving up. Now he's a productive citizen. I didn't think he cared about the little nuggets that I said. But now he's a productive citizen in society. All it takes is one seed, ladies. You've sown seed all this year, and you may not see the harvest right now, but it's going to come up. Clear examples. You have control of that. Now, the bureaucratic system might not have control, but I have jurisdictional authority. You know what that is? The word jurisdiction comes from Latin. It means where I dictate or where I articulate from. So when I'm in the classroom, I have the right to articulate and create an environment conducive to learning. Teach means the cause to learn. But if I can't cause to learn when there's chaos. All I can do is manage. You just wait till 2 o'clock. Oh, buddy. If I had an iPhone, I could put it in and just get out of the world. But what we have as a responsibility as educators, we must locate our passion again. And we must Ask the wise, why am I here? What does this mean to me now? And where's my future at in education? And when you ask those and get a clear answer, your system has to be rebooted. What's the next thing on paradigm? Thank you for helping. You're such a good helper.
An example of a conjunction or dissension showing a word in all of its inflectional.
No, I don't need that
You don't
one.
want that one. A philosophical and theoretical framework of a scientific school.
Watch this. A philosophical, a theoretical framework. We don't have control over a CMS framework. It's a philosophy that's 50 years old. That's just like me getting a dial phone. Grandma, what are you doing? I'm calling you, baby. The system is not conducive for creative learning. Because when we look on American, at our North Carolina region against everyone else, they always talk about us being behind. What philosophical framework, who created that thought? Who said we had to be in that framework, that we're Southern, that we're behind, that we can't learn? Who built that framework? That's a paradigm that we must counter. We must counter the old framework. Well, there's nothing I can do. I just got 21 kids. They're going to devour me. So I'm going to be a sacrificial lamb and just get ate alive. Not me. Timmy and Tommy and Toto will not destroy me. Now you can go write that up. You can talk about it any way you want. But I'm responsible, first of all, for continually to keep my passion for what I do. I'm responsible for that. Paradigm, one more.
For discipline in which theories, laws, and generalizations, and the experiments performed in support of them are formulated.
Now, people have experimented with North Carolina education. Like, we're not hamsters. We're real teachers. Don't experiment with our teaching. Then we learn this, then you upgrade us into another plan. Then you upgrade us to another plan. What am I? There's a disconnect between where I am and the reality of these children to where you're trying to get me to. So what I can do to turn the tide is to begin to do the law of activity. What can I do in my realm of authority to help urban schools engage in the passion that I have? You gotta be car salesmen, ladies. You gotta sell it. You gotta sell it. You gotta own that moment. Because guess what? Subcultures in urban settings, they come in without a paradigm. Anything goes. They come in with a philosophy that no one cares. And you see how in their posture, you see how they carry themselves. Then when you try to enforce intervention, the support's not there. So now I'm more here. Then when I try to talk to the parent, boom, 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 boom. You don't like my child. No, that's not that I don't like your child. There are certain behaviors that I was not trained for. I need a degree in behavioral health. I need to be a social worker. I'm a pastor. I'm a caregiver. I'm a coach. So with all of these streams of responsibility, how do I center it? I'm just a teacher. No, you're not. You are a creative educator. You have to make it do what it do. Why? I have to be creative with this type of paradigm. Watch this. We must now embrace the new paradigm, which is a philosophical framework. I did some little notes. I can't type, I do this. You know, I do that like that. Watch this. We must now embrace a new paradigm that will look at education process through a radical new and uniquely personal set of eyes. When you take education personal, it hurts. Right? Right, ladies? And they try to kill the dream. I had a dream, but you stomping it out of my heart. Now, when I take it personal, the teacher becomes the student. In urban schools, you have to become a student among students. That's my philosophy. I had people who were potential rapists. They were just too young to go to prison. Arsonists, murderers. I went to a behavioral school too. After what's beside Olympic?
Kennedy.
Yes.
Kennedy.
God. Yes. Pray for me. Because I went through a lot. And Kennedy was a place, it was a Vietnam. And I'm still sure, y'all just give me therapy. But what I'm saying, I went in there with creative ingenuity. We can do it. I realized the system was a culture of low expectation that I was trying to teach against. Just calm down, you're a young teacher, and let me mentor you in the culture of low expectation. We don't really expect transformational learning. You just come on and get your education so you can become a principal. That was the ultimate goal. I say, no, these kids right here are falling apart. So I left that school and went to a private school that was intervening for kids who get kicked out of regular school. We just can't function. So when we were sitting there, the psychologist came and said, we just did a study on all of them. I'm talking about major issues. I said, why did you put me here? I'm not ready for this one. He said, most of these are different. They're right brain learners. They're not analytical. They're creative. And most of our teaching is from the left brain. We ask what? You have analytical thinking. Your tests are analytical. But on the right brain, we ask why. And we do extemporaneous expression. Now, if school is built on the left brain, if I say, oh, I know the answer, what is that? Disruption. She didn't read, you didn't tell me, I knew it. That kid didn't know anything all year, but he knew this one. But we said, put your hand down. Be normal. Be left brain. That's what we're saying. So the creative kids are the ones that barely show up but can pass a test. That's why the EOGs are child. When we get to high school, they say, Mr. Graham, I'm not crazy. I just don't come to school until the end of the grade because I'm a right brain thinker. I can pass a test. But that doesn't mean I'm being educated. Okay, now let's bring it back down. Why did I say that? Because when we got these young men in a room, all of them were gang members. I'm talking about gang members, perpetuating major crimes. They would get frustrated because they could not express what they knew. So that's when we moved to the law of communicating. One kid grew up in a family of drug dealers, didn't know math. I said, listen, how many quarters in a pound? Man, that's this. He said, it takes 4 seconds for me to shoot a pistol and shoot it again. I said, how do you know this stuff? I said, let's try it in your mathematics. Sit down. We taught him the 4 things he needed to learn: how to talk, how to speak. We taught him how to write. We taught him how to read. We taught him how to respect authority. How do we do that, though? By engaging with him where he was. I became a student. I know we don't have time to do that here. This is kind of pie in the sky stuff. No, it's not. You're not going to change the world overnight. but you can change the system being consistent in what you believe. Don't give away what you believe concerning teaching, about people. Teachers are in the people business. Hello? Stay in the people business, right? Let's stand on our feet. I'm finished.